Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet. Coach Kyle here, coming to you from the Blistery, Portland, Maine today, guys. We are graduating the Bold Room. The first Bold of this year is going to be in the books at the end of today for our awesome agents up here in Portland, Maine, man. They leaned in. They got a ton from this Gary Keller Bowl, just changing their mindset, working on their skills, figuring out new things and new ways that they can push themselves. And the results show. So I'm pretty excited about today, and to put it exclamation point on this awesome chapter up here in Portland, Maine. Man, to those of you who haven't checked it out yet or haven't done it yet, highly suggest finding a room near you and go jump in, man. But anyway, as always, guys, happy Monday. Coach Kyle here. I am ready to give you some stuff today, and I think it's going to be a little more tactical and a little mindset kind of rolled into one. So what I want to talk to you about is simply about negotiations. In life, and in business, a lot of things are negotiations. A lot of things are back and forth. How are we framing? How are we moving the needle forward? How are we getting the other side to see our point of view and potentially either agree or acquiesce to the things that we desire, guys? Negotiation, it's not a war. A lot of people tend to think that it's this adversarial thing. It doesn't have to be. It's not an aggressive back and forth where someone wins and someone loses. It's really about coming together. So if your mindset, is like, I must win the deal, but the other side has to lose, it's probably not the best one. The best negotiators, they actually don't focus on beating the other side. They focus on understanding the why, the what really matters underneath, and creating a solution to where both parties feel like they won. That's where future deals come from. More referrals, right? Repeat business. When people feel that it was a good experience and no one had to lose, that's where you run into the opportunity of converting the person on the other side into a fan of yours or a potential client in the future. And when the client you're working with doesn't feel like they've been in an all-out brawl, an all-out war, they have a better experience, which again then leads to better reviews, better referrals, and more repeat business. Gary Keller has this great line that he says. It says, real estate is a contact sport, right? It's on a t-shirt. You guys have seen it. But then he goes on to say, the real skill is making the other side want to play with you again. So he says real estate is a contact sport, but the real skill is making the other side want to play with you again. Guys, are we doing that out there? Are we making the other side feel like, hey, you know what? I'd like to do that again. That was good. That was fun. That was a great experience for everybody. So think about this, man. A lot of times we think that we're just negotiating a contract, but we're not. We're actually negotiating trust. Do they trust you? Do they believe that you understand them? Do they believe that you understand what they actually need? You see, guys, because the truth of the matter is this: every negotiation has three pieces: the price, the terms, and the one that gets missed, the emotions. Price, terms, and emotions. Those are the three main pieces of negotiations. A lot of us get so caught up in mostly price that we don't even deal with terms or don't even seek the best terms all the time because we're so caught up in price. And then we definitely miss the third piece, which is probably one of the most important. It's the emotions on the negotiation, the emotions on the deal, on the outcome. Guys, our job is to build a bridge that makes it easy for people to cross over. Build a bridge that makes it easy for people to cross over. It's not a war. Ask yourself, what's the win? What's the win for them? Not just your clients, what's the win for the other side? How do we get there? What do we have to do to make everybody feel like they won something in this? Like, think about inspections. Yeah, one of the fun things that we deal about. So think about inspection negotiations. You come in swinging, right? Listing every possible repair. Hey, we want this, we want this, we want this, we want this. What tends to happen? The other side shuts down. They shut down. They're like, they want too much. This person's crazy. I can't believe they did this. Guys, you've been on the other side before. You've gotten those ridiculously long requests. And what do? Are you like, this is going to be so fun. I can't wait. Oh, my clients are going to be so excited. No. In fact, you tend to wall up, get into defense mode. But think about it like this: instead of like a big list, what if we framed it? What if we came in setting the tone, setting the expectations, setting the emotions with something more like this? Hey, listen, there's a lot of stuff on here, but let's solve the things that truly impact the deal. Let's make this work together. That's a different framing, it's a different feeling, it's a different tonality. Pick up the phone, talk to the other side, frame it correctly, and you'll be shocked at how much smoother some of these go, some of these negotiations go. So that's one of them. The next thing here I want you to think about is tactical empathy. Tactical empathy. So our goal is to get them talking and get them feeling. There's a guy that you've heard me talk about. I love his name's Christopher Voss. He wrote a book called Never Split the Difference. And he says it like this. He says, the most dangerous negotiation is the one you don't know you're in. The most dangerous negotiation is the one that you don't know you're in. And he says, trust me, every time you're speaking to a client or another agent, you're in a negotiation. Something to think about, guys. The single greatest tool that we have is not necessarily persuasion, it's actually empathy. Because if you think about it, people, yourself included, myself included, tend to make decisions emotionally and then justify them logically. We tend to make decisions emotionally and then justify them logically. Our job is to uncover the emotion which drives the negotiation, right? Because again, emotions first. So how can we uncover them? How can we guide them? How can we keep them in check to make sure that the negotiation goes smoothly? So here's a few techniques. Number one is labeling. Labeling. And it might go like this. It sounds like you're frustrated that this home hasn't sold yet. So maybe you're talking to a for sale by owner or an expired or someone who withdrew or one of your sellers whose house has been on the market. You want to get them to label the emotion. It sounds like you're frustrated that this home hasn't sold yet. One of the ideas is we're looking to get them to say essentially, that's right, or exactly, or you got it. Why is that important? What's important about it is because when they say that internally, they're like, hey, this person gets me. They understand me. And remember, man, people want to be understood more than they want to be right or wrong. So our entire goal of the label is to get them to agree, essentially, that we see them, we understand them. So it sounds like you're frustrated that this home hasn't sold yet. And then, shh. Our goal is to get them to say, that's right. So another thing that you can do to kind of move that's right moment down the way if you run out of questions and labels is mirroring. So essentially just repeat the last few words back. um, let's say if they're like, hey, just tired that this home is still on the market. Man, yeah, tired that this home's still on the market. And then what's going to happen? They're going to explain more. So for instance, let's say I labeled with something like, it sounds like your biggest fear is leaving money on the table if you lower the price. Then you need to stay quiet, because guess what's going to happen? They're going to say, that's right, and help me build the bridge. So for instance, I had a seller before. They wouldn't budge. They were stuck on the price. I literally mirrored for probably 4 or 5 minutes. No pitch, no logic, just you feel like you're giving it away. You're worried it's not worth less. Eventually, which was very long in my mind, they said, exactly, exactly. So then we finally understood that it wasn't price at all. It was actually pride. Because really what it was they felt like they were giving it away. So it wasn't the price. It was the pride behind it. But I never would have gotten there if I wasn't labeling and being quiet and listening and then repeating back, mirroring to get them to finally author that themselves. Because here's the thing, guys, authorship is ownership. We want them to author the feeling and we want to respond and repeat it back to make sure that it's understood, looking for that's right moment. The last piece of the negotiation puzzle that I want to give you today is the power of no. What would happen if we started shooting for no out the gate instead of yes? You see, a lot of times salespeople are trained or desire to get the yes. Why? Because it means success. It makes us feel good. But a lot of people are comfortable with a no because it makes them feel in control. So what if we could get them to do that in the beginning to up the emotion, up the security, have them feel comfortable? Do you think that the rest of the conversation goes smoother when they come out the gates feeling comfortable and not adversarial? Something to think about. People say no because it makes them feel safe. It creates control. The mistake that most agents make is they fear the no, right? Because we've tied that in our minds to no means that they're not working with us or we're not good enough or our services don't align with them. And that's not always the case. So frame your questions to invite a no. Here's an example. Would it be ridiculous if, would it be crazy to think they're probably going to say no? It clarifies the objection. I love what Chris Voss says about this. He says, no is better than a fake yes that unravels later. So here's an idea back to inspections. Like, let's say we're negotiating repairs and you ask something to drive a no first. Would it be ridiculous to suggest that the seller handles the roof? 9 times out of 10, they're going to pause. They're going to think about it. And then here's the trick. They're either going to explain why it's possible or they're going to give you the real barrier. No, they simply just don't have enough money to do it. Or why it's possible. Hey, you know what? No, that's not too crazy. I guess there's a few XYZ things that we could do. But seeking that no drops the guard. It drops the seller psychology, or not the seller psychology. It drops the person on the other end of the negotiation psychology. It makes them feel safer. So here's some things just to think about and consider and practice going with no, right? Getting the no first and make them feel safe, make them feel in control, leading with empathy, tactical empathy especially, get them talking, right? Get them feeling, guiding the emotions. And then also understand that it's a contact sport, man. Our goal is to make sure that it's a win-win and that the other side wants to play with us again. So I trust that this is a quick little, mindset way to start your day and start thinking about some of the negotiations moving forward this week and some of the potential phone calls you're going to make. And remember, the most dangerous negotiation that you have is the one that you don't know you're in, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, happy Monday. I will see you tomorrow. Cannot wait. Chef's kiss. Go make it a good one.